What's going on, gamers? We got the full monthly sales for March, and holy man. Look at those Switch 2 numbers. This was pre-PlayStation price hike too, so it actually had a boost towards the end of the month. Still did incredibly well, selling over 1 million. Nintendo is doing holiday numbers. This is stuff you see in the holidays. Bro, what are we looking at here? Whoa, this just shows you how good Pokemon Pokepia is as well too. Like I said, they have those system sellers, and just in general, I think there's people realizing that they might want to go and get one too. You know, people thought the sales were going to slow down. I told them this is temporary. I've been telling people this. They didn't want to listen to me. We got a lot to talk about here, and how just Xbox is just embarrassing. 1.765 million. Dude, look at the Europe numbers. You wouldn't have thought this, right? Nintendo managed to dominate PlayStation in Europe. That's crazy. This is before pre-price hike. Or this is before price hike. Sorry, this is pre-price hike, where people got that note and they went in to even still kind of buy a bit. So it's slowing down a bit. You see what I'm saying? And Nintendo now pretty much took the lead. They had a 700 and pretty much 10,000 gain on PS5 worldwide now. So I don't think they're gonna be able to catch up now. Their best bet is GTA 6 in November, but before that, Nintendo's gonna drop a major direct. We know this, and they're pretty much gonna take the lead from here on out. Which, you know, they should. But I mean, yeah, that's astronomical. It's like, man, hold up. And this is what I mean about them when I was talking about them in the last video, or the video before that. One of the recent videos where I said that they have that perfect equilibrium. And I've said this multiple times, where you have a balance across North America and Western society, Europe, and Japan worldwide, where there's this equilibrium. And look at it, it's right there. You see what I mean? Or Sony fell off because they lost the balance with Japan when we talk about full worldwide equilibrium. This has nothing to really do with power. There's a lot more to video games than that. Just like I was telling people about the last video with 30 FPS and all of that. It's like, man, there's a lot more to gaming than that. It just depends on what you're looking at. And not every game is like that, even in the Switch world, because of the way their engines are. The most Nintendo games are 60 frames easily. But third-party games, yeah. But if you have a handheld experience, I mean, look at the Steam Deck. So, yeah, going to Xbox, though, we see that no matter what they do, and this is what I was trying to tell people, and Phil's been gone, right? It doesn't really matter. Game Pass is kind of like to the extent of, yeah, you reverted back to what you shouldn't have did, and if you wanted to do a price hike, that still wouldn't have been good because people would have complained about it. So it's good that you reversed that process, but it's what you kind of had to do. Like I said, it reminds me of the Outer Worlds. Oh, I'm going to try $80. What are you doing? You're not qualified for that. So I'm going to go back to 70. Like that's supposed to be something good. No, you should have never shot yourself in the foot. And nobody really cares to buy Xbox. You still can't outsell Switch 1. You're in 4th place. I mean, it's not good, man. And I just don't, like I said, when it comes to like this type of brand, it just doesn't have that much hope. And they tried, I think, even sales before. It's not really working. Maybe a little bit in the NA it helped. But if you really look at everything else, it's like the Switch 1 is still outselling you. And if you look at the Nintendo Switch 2 family, they pretty much had 2 million consoles sold last month. Absolutely insane. And Sony still, where they're at in their 6 years, sold over 1 million. That's pretty good. You know what I mean? So if you still think about the Xbox versus console, you know, war against PlayStation, they 10-1'd you last month. Nintendo 17-1'd you. You know what I mean? If you add in the Switch with that, I mean, you pretty much got 21. And it's like, damn, that's just not good. So insane numbers by Nintendo, and this is without a brand new Zelda or Mario yet. Though they've had some good games last year, but Pokemon Pokepia was another game where it's like, it came out of nowhere and nobody would have said that was going to happen. And getting a 90 meta, and just, that's what they do. They silently do stuff like that. They did the same thing with Animal Crossing. Every time people get stuck on like PlayStation and Xbox and PC, Nintendo comes and does crazy stuff like this, but you don't see it coming. And then PlayStation 5 had a really good momentum going with PS5 Pro and PSSR 2, and having a really good state of play, having a really good holidays, and had good momentum going. Saying they're going back to only on PlayStation. People realize they do need a PlayStation. GTA 6 is coming out this year. You want that PS5 Pro, or if you just want to get in there, you can get the Series X or the PS5. Either way, most people will probably go for PlayStation because it's just a Rockstar thing, and it feels at home on there, and you'll be able to migrate to the PS6 with that and carry over your saves. Where like on Xbox, I mean, if I guess if you got the Helix or whatever, but how many people are really going to buy that? It's kind of reminds me of a ROG Ally situation. So when it comes to trying to fix Xbox sales, I just don't think it's really possible. I think the best bet they can do is probably do a price drop and try to get people ready for GTA 6. And then release all those games that they're releasing this year and try what they can, but they don't have any exclusivity power, meaning that I only can get it here. And it's hard to do that because you don't have the market to do that in the install base because of Game Pass. And you could try to change that all around, and it's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with you trying that, but I think it's a little bit too late to try that when it comes to trying to move more hardware units. It's tough. Like, how are you going to do that? You have to find a way. Let's see what happens with Forza only being there, and if you can get some Forza bundles on the market, and maybe drop the price by $50 while doing that, and see if you can move, you know, 100 and something thousand in NA next month and 100 and something thousand in Europe, because Europeans are obsessed with cars. Everybody knows this. Even Japan loves cars like that. You know, Initial D, all that. Used to race back in the 90s big time, still love that. We get that idea, like, the Europeans, they love their racing. They do. So if you could get some bundles going with Forza while it's not on PlayStation, you could at least try to move something there. Instead of that 140, you could probably get 400 or 500K that month. That would be very good if you're able to do that. That's kind of like the best bet I could possibly tell you, since nothing else can afford to be exclusive, because you need those day one sales like Fable and Gears and all that. Whereas Forza, it's sold 5 million on PlayStation. It doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? But outside of that, it's like, yeah, you just have to fix your publishing and make sure that's strong, you know, and fix Game Pass in a way that it needs to be affordable. So PC gamers in the PC world is going to want to subscribe more, because the Xbox consoles are just eventually going to tank off. It's inevitable. And you're not ever going to do that again, and you can't afford to. So it's going to be about publishing and like Nintendo, though, like I try to tell people, they're going to be fine. They just need to not jack the price up. All you have to do is keep the price where it's at, Nintendo, and keep launching a bunch of games. And if you don't want to subsidize because you get hit a little bit, I think the market's going to keep coming down as more time passes, raise the price up on the sub online, but keep selling your hardware. You need to build that install base. It's too early for you. You're kind of in that position where it's like PlayStation and Xbox have to get past that and be out 5 years before this market crash happened, going into the 6th year. It's happening to you getting ready to go into your 2nd year. You haven't even got to finish your 1st year yet. You see, so they have to be very careful how they strategize, because the Switch 2 is a large chunk of the Nintendo company. They can't afford for it to fail like that. And Sony can't afford for PS6 to fail. So you see, their identity needs to be stronger than Xbox's. Whereas Microsoft, I mean, they got Windows, software, Azure, cloud, they got all that stuff. They got so much money. They don't have to worry about that. Xbox is not 50-40% of the Microsoft company. Hell no, not even 10%. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a different game here that's being played. And I tell you what, PlayStation in 6 years still selling 1 million in March is pretty damn impressive. But they probably got that spike because, like I said, people rushed in and realized what was going to happen. But even then, imagine if they didn't, because like I said, look at those Nintendo Switch 2 numbers. Now let's go down to the comments down here. He's over here speaking Spanish. Baby Nintendo, and this is without Mario and without Zelda. So if people want to see what he said right here, I don't know if there's a translation for this for people to see. No, it's not translating. But Xbox doesn't even achieve good sales in its country of origin. I mean, that's basically the best specs. It is, though, for them, yeah. But if you think about that, it's like, oh, no. Switch 2 was one that sold the most in all regions, and that even though it was during the pre-price hike of the PS5, which many on Twitter were boasting sold like hotcakes. Yeah, it's kind of backfiring on some people who know what they're talking about. Like the guy was saying here, too. This was without Mario, without Zelda, and we know they're going to announce that without the big hitters coming in the holidays. They're going to be fine. They're still going to sell a lot. So I bet a lot of people were like, man, they overprojected. But guess what? Out of nowhere, it looks like, yeah, they found a spike. Wait, so now Switch 2 really effed over the PlayStation 5 in all regions? I would say that. They just took the lead. And they had the lead all last year. They just had to catch up because they launched in June. Like, it's not like PlayStation had some like advantage. Like, no, dude, it was out January, February, March, April, and May. It's out 5 months before that. We're just speaking facts over here. Both are doing well. But Nintendo still broke the record and took the lead after that. And then they took the lead again this year. Like, if you want to still count the whole year, or it's not even, haven't been a year yet till we get to June, Nintendo's still winning worldwide. So Sony had those insane deals. They had to do that, I'm telling you. But they're still going to keep going. So they're doing better than any other console in history. And yours, only one is ahead, and that's another Nintendo console. So Xbox doesn't even have health anymore. Hey man, they're sitting on that Halo. You know, we're trying, you know, that's what's going on. They hopefully get the right. It's like, I don't know, man. The power of a good exclusive. Like I said, we know in the Nintendo where exclusives are meta. That's always been their selling point. Whereas on PlayStation, it's a hybrid aspect. Exclusives do matter, obviously. But Sony, they have a large success with third-party and money adding, like third-party exclusives, and then dropping the first-party games with the combination of that and having the right price point power balance as well, as we see what's going on in general, now being able to be compared to PC. So, yeah, he's right about that. The power of a good exclusive. This type of stuff does matter. But man, crazy monster numbers by Nintendo, good numbers by PlayStation, terrible numbers by Xbox. But hey, this is what's happening. Let me know what you guys think about this. Leave a comment down below as usual. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, I just don't know, man. I see when you do so much damage, like, you can get in that unrecoverable state. We've seen it with live service games. That's what this kind of reminds me of. The best thing, like I said, they can do, publishing, subscription service. Put your consoles on sale at 3 months of Game Pass with something like Forza bundled. You see what I mean? That's the best they're going to be able to do. Other than that, get ready for the sweeps. Because Nintendo's about to start stumping again. Actually, I mean, they are, you know. And they haven't even had their major direct. But they had a major game that came out of nowhere, like an Animal Crossing. That's Pokemon Pokepia. So congratulations again to Nintendo. Man, crazy numbers. Congratulations to Sony, too. That's a great month. And because of them, like Matt Piscatella said, 70% growth this month compared to last year. I told people, like I told them before, when Nintendo comes in the market, they're going to boost everything. All third-party developers are eating here too. They're going to make more games. This is just boosting gaming in general. Console gaming is powerful. Xbox just fell off. That's it. Later, y'all. Peace out. Keep gaming no matter what platform you're on.